Story, Keep Me With You. One day there were two army battalions, and they were assigned the task of eliminating some criminals on the border. The plan was literally implemented, and the mission was successful, but two soldiers from one battalion were injured. After the operation was over, the rest of the soldiers waited for the plane to arrive to carry them and return them to their natural place. Suddenly, something sparkled in the eyes of one of the young soldiers because of the reflection of the sun's rays on it. He was very curious to know what the thing was, so he went to it and held it in his hand. Suddenly, it was a picture of a girl. What a beautiful girl! A Quranic verse was written behind the picture for memorization. As soon as the young man held the picture and removed the dust from it, and did not finish contemplating its features and reading what was on it, a shell hit the place where he had previously been standing before moving to pick up the shiny thing. And as a result, all of his colleagues who were standing next to him at the time died, and none of them remained. As for the young man, he was injured in the accident and fainted and was taken to the hospital. The next day, one of his colleagues came to him and gave him the picture, saying, "We found this picture in your hand. If you had stayed where you were and not gone to take it, you would have been counted among the dead now. God Almighty made this picture the reason for saving your life." The young man was touched by his colleague's words, so he decided to search for the girl in the picture. He asked each of his colleagues if they knew the identity of the girl in the picture, but unfortunately, none of them knew her identity.
While they were on a mission and operation, one of his friends told him with a sense of humor, "You should go to this girl's house and thank her warmly after completing your military service, as she was the reason for saving you from certain death." His friend had not finished talking to him when a shell was fired at the entire battalion and a hail of bullets. At that time, the young man was holding the picture and thinking about how to repay its owner. He did not know anything until he woke up and found that all of his colleagues and friends had passed away. Days passed and the young man could not taste its sweetness or bitterness. Finally, he completed his military service and returned to the country. He went to his only sister, who was living in the family home with her husband and two sons. She named her eldest son after her only brother, the young man, who was in the army, and she was always longing and yearning for him. When he finally returned to her, the tears in her eyes could dry up. He had a dog that was close to him. As soon as he could smell him, he ran towards him. Even his sister knew he was coming because of the dog's happy and fast running, unlike his usual habit in all moments of his life. Since the first days, the young man was feeling constant tension and anxiety. One night, his sister's two sons wanted to surprise him and take a video with him. One of them grabbed the camera and suddenly the other woke him up from his sleep. The young man's reaction was very violent. His sister was sad and in pain for him, as he had lost his security and normal life like all other people. His sister advised him to go to a psychiatrist to help him. She also searched and found the name and address of an excellent doctor. But the next day when she woke up, she did not find her brother, and she found a message that he had recorded. "Young man, my love, I don't know the real reason behind my being alive at this moment, and I don't know the hidden reason behind my survival from death despite the death of all my friends. I really need to be alone, I need some time to sort things out, I love you." The young man began searching for the location of the lighthouse and the picture of the girl who was the reason for saving his life. He found it and traveled to the intended location. As soon as he set foot there, he began asking about the owner of the picture. Whenever he found someone, he would take her out and ask them about the girl. Finally, he found someone who knew her identity and directed him to her house. Among the information that this person gave him was that the girl was the wife of his close friend, and that she owned a dog care center. He arrived at the center and there he met the girl. As soon as he started talking to her, he wanted to explain to her the reasons for his presence to see her and the story of her picture with him. However, the girl interrupted him, thinking that he had applied for the job that she had recently announced. She asked him about his experience in dealing with dogs, except for his own dog. He answered her that he had dealt with the army's bomb dogs. Here, the girl became anxious and doubtful, and asked him how an army officer would travel Al.